welcome to CJ Plus. As you and I and 198 million internet users march towards a digital evolution in India alone, greedy for more access, more information, we're faced sometimes with some bitter experiences. Trolling, harassment, threats even, all of this and much more comprise cyber crime. This episode of CJ Plus focuses on that, what you can do to make your online presence safer, and also what does the law say? All that and much more in the next 30 minutes. 3 women decide to speak out against cyber harassment.
I started receiving a string of emails. The emails contained some threats to share my personal mobile number, and they also contained some morphed pictures of mine.
You know my name, you take a photograph of the net and you just make a profile, and suddenly people would believe it's me, and then you can post all sorts of things.
And the experts are addressing some big concerns.
Hacking along with morphing will constitute a crime under the Indian law, even if finally those pictures are not uploaded on any particular medium or a site.
CJ Plus today is getting you an inside look into a cyber crime cell where email tracking, cell phone surveillance and social media investigation are all a part of the day's work. We're starting the show today with a story that could well be a nightmare for many young social media users. Anam Ahmed is our citizen journalist from Srinagar. Now, Anam is a regular Facebook user and she was in for a shock when she was notified that her Facebook account had been hacked into, her photos downloaded and morphed, and she was now facing blackmail. Anam decided to approach the police. But here is what was even more shocking. She was told that mere threats do not amount to a crime and that no action could be taken unless those pictures were actually posted online. Yes, as bizarre as that may sound, many of us social media users are not aware of the rules and the laws and our rights. Anam's story could be a learning for many.
Hi, my name is Anam and I have become citizen journalist for CJ Plus. I have faced and fought online harassment, and I'm here to tell you that shame isn't mine. This happened in 2011. I was in college. One fine day, I received an SMS alert on my phone stating that my Facebook account had been logged in from some other device. As soon as I logged into my Facebook, it was rendered inaccessible, hence confirming that my account had been hacked. But that wasn't all. A couple of hours later, I started receiving a string of emails sent from an anonymous ID, namely Hacker22XWE. The emails contained some threats to share my personal mobile number, and they also contained some morphed pictures of mine. The threats included of posting the same pictures on Facebook as well as other obscene websites. I was angry. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. The emails continued. They were full of hatred and abuse. In just a matter of 2 days, I had received 8 threatful messages. This is when I decided to lodge an FIR. But imagine my shock when the police refused to help, stating that it was not an offense until the pictures were actually put on some website. I finally decided to connect with Facebook and had my account deactivated. In our society, it's always the victim that is to be blamed. Being a girl, you're always asked not to put up your pictures, be it your parents, friends, or even your spouse. They all ask you not to put up your pictures because they're bound to get hacked. But I'm asking you this question, why? Why to be a victim in the first place? Give them back what they deserve. What prompted me today to become a citizen journalist is the fact that I myself have faced cybercrime. For all the girls out there, and everybody who might have faced similar circumstances, I have a word of advice. Don't lie down. Don't be a victim. Fight, so that they know what they're doing is wrong. Also, I have a question. Does a case like mine qualify as cybercrime? And what does one do as a legal recourse?
hacking of a account, even if it is a social media account, comprises of an offence, and it constitutes an offence which is punishable under the IT Act by about 3 years of imprisonment and fine as well. And even if this particular account has been hacked, and after that morphing has been used to morph a particular picture of a person, that itself also constitutes an offence, because it's a fabrication, it's a forgery under the IPC, which is the general law in the land. So this hacking along with morphing will constitute a crime under the Indian law, even if finally those pictures are not uploaded on any particular medium or a site.
I'm being joined by SP Dinesh Yadav of Noida City. He's also heading this center here in Noida, which is the Center for Crime, Cyber Crime and Investigation. Sir, एक बात जो क्लियर है कि ऑनलाइन यूज़र्स इंक्रीज़ हो रहे हैं और उसके साथ साथ इंक्रीज़ हो रहे हैं ऑनलाइन क्राइम्स एज वेल. तो इस तरह के सेंटर की नीड और ये किस चीज़ को टारगेट कर रहे हैं, किस तरह के केसेस आपके पास आ रहे हैं, उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
ऐसा है, ये साइबर क्राइम का जो मामला है, इसमें इम्पॉर्टेंट सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि जो एविडेंसेस हैं वो डिजिटल एविडेंस होती है. हमारे जो इन्वेस्टिगेटर्स हैं पुलिस के, जो ट्रेडिशनल क्राइम को देखते हैं, वो डिजिटल एविडेंस कैसे कलेक्ट की जाए इसके बारे में उनकी दक्षता नहीं है. उससे दिक्कत ये हो रही है कि वो इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो इस सेंटर का सबसे बड़ा महत्व ये है कि जो डिजिटल एविडेंस है उसको कलेक्ट करने के लिए स्पेशल टाइप के आपको टूल्स चाहिए, हार्डवेयर चाहिए, प्लस स्किल चाहिए. वो नॉर्मल इन्वेस्टिगेटर के पास नहीं है.
किस तरह से रिपोर्ट कर सकता है कोई साइबर क्राइम सेल में?
हमारे यहाँ एक तो ये है कि ऑनलाइन कंप्लेंट्स, हमारी जो आप वेबसाइट देख रही हैं CCCI-Noida.org, उस पर आप कंप्लेंट कर सकते हैं. आपकी कंप्लेंट को यहाँ एंटरटेन किया जाएगा और आपसे हमारी टीम संपर्क करती है. संपर्क करने के बाद अगर उसमें इमीडिएट एक्शन की ज़रूरत है वो स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, और आपको आना इसलिए होता है, बुला लेते हैं क्योंकि आपको लिखित एक FIR देनी होती है, इसमें सिग्नेचर इज़ रिक्वायर्ड, और फिर हम लोग उसमें FIR दर्ज कर देते हैं अगर ज़रूरत होती है.
Kavita Krishnan is our citizen journalist. She is an activist and a regular user of social media. She's also someone who's been harassed, trolled and also threatened on social media. She's here on the show asking for accountability, not only from the law enforcement agencies, but also from the third-party platforms of social media.
I'm Kavita Krishnan, and I've turned a citizen journalist today for CJ Plus. I'm a political activist and a women's rights activist, and I of course express myself a lot on social media. And on social media, I, as well as other women who express themselves there, are often targeted specifically for their sexuality, and there's an attempt to shame them for their sexuality. And I think that it's really time for all of us to say that the shame is not ours. The shame should belong to those who think that they can abuse us and abuse our mothers by making every debate about our sex lives. I have faced cyber harassment several times, including rape threats and threats of violence and death threats and so on. Some days ago, I had written an article about the way in which women students in universities like JNU or Jadavpur are profiled as being, sexually promiscuous. And in a comment on that article, somebody had said, "Would your mother have free sex?" And I had, of course, responded by saying, yes, my mother would, and I hope so would yours, because what does free sex mean? It's a meaningless term, because every kind of sex should be free. Any sexual act that is not free is rape. Then my mother also had pitched in, basically to show, in her mind it was there that neither she nor I should be made to feel ashamed over this. The idea is for all of us to start saying that if you're having a political argument with a woman, then keep the argument political. Make political arguments. Don't start talking about her morality or her sex life or her mother's sex life or her daughter's sex life. I collected about, I think, close to 50 comments on Twitter and Facebook about my skin color. So several of them are terribly racist. first times that I faced a threat of violence was chat on Rediff, and it was a chat about the rape law. And someone had entered the chat and repeatedly threatened me with rape. And that was one of the first times it was happening, so I found it quite disconcerting and quite I was upset that Rediff had allowed that person to enter the chat and continuously post those comments. But after that, when I tried to make a complaint to the police about it, I found that it involved quite a lot of wasted time on my part and wasted energy on my part. Because at the end of the day, after months, they really couldn't locate who it was. They said, oh, the server is somewhere outside the country, so we couldn't find who it was. And eventually I had to find time to go to court and support the police in saying, well, let the case now be closed. I have tried reporting to Twitter or Facebook, but even that experience hasn't been great, because I've found that even if someone's making a really graphic threat saying, describing what kinds of objects should be pushed into my body, I found that these social media platforms tend to say, well, it doesn't violate our community standards, or we don't recognize this as violence. If you feel threatened, you can go to the police. Another thing I've noticed is that, for instance, language. The fact that a lot of the abuse you get is not in English. It could be in Hindi, it could be in other, in Tamil or Malayalam or anything like that. And I think there also, the idea that Facebook seems to be unable to catch the registers of speech in other languages. And so it seems singularly unable to recognize abuse or threats in other languages but English. The question is whether the laws we have, the cyber laws we have, and the police system as it is really equipped to deal with the kind of cyber abuse and cyber violence that we face today. I would say to any woman who's facing trolling online, don't let the trolls get into your head. Don't allow them to shame or silence you in any way. Don't give them that power over you. You may choose whether or not to report it. You may choose whether to ignore it or whether to respond with humor. But whatever you do, don't give them the power to silence you or to chase you off social media. Kavita Krishnan, citizen journalist for CNN News 18.
Did you know that every time you put out any content using the public setting on Facebook, you're giving access to that information to everyone, including those who are not on Facebook? Did you know that every time you put out a content, a video or a picture, you're granting Facebook the non-exclusive, sub-licensable, transferable, royalty-free, worldwide access to use that content in any way and associate it with you? Now, this is what escapes the most careful of Facebook users. Now, how many of us have used the login from Facebook button when we are downloading apps? Now, did you know that every time you use that button, you're giving access to that app to everything that is on your Facebook? Your photos, your videos, your likes, even your birth date and other information that you may have put in. But there is a way out of this. You can actually go into the app setting and you can systematically remove using the edit button all the information that you don't want the app to access. Knowledge, therefore, is the key. Our next citizen journalist is UPSC topper Teena Dabi. Now, as her pictures were splashed across TV screens and newspapers, she became a celebrity of sorts overnight. And overnight, 35 or more fake Facebook accounts on her name cropped up with pictures of her but content that she did not want to associate with. Teena now is turning a citizen journalist, and she is saying how everyone and anyone could be vulnerable online.
Hello, I am Teena Dabi. I'm a 22-year-old graduate of political science from Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi University. I've been recently selected for Civil Services Examination 2015. Since the time I got to know I'm rank 1, I'm being flooded with calls, with messages, SMS, WhatsApp texts, emails, and I had deactivated my Facebook profile. Then I heard from people that no, there are already profiles and pages under your name, and they're posting quotes, like something to do with hard work or something. I found even that creepy, because okay, that's fine, you're posting something very harmless, but then you never know what you might do in the future under my name. I think there are around 30 to 35 fake profiles under my name. I came out with a statement on my own profile that, you know, these are fake profiles, and the statements that are being made on those profiles have nothing absolutely to do with me, and I dissociate myself. So a lot of people, I got a lot of public support, and a lot of people immediately reported all the profiles. So Facebook has been emailing me that we've got complaints and we are taking down those profiles. But then, you know, Facebook, you know, since the Indian law doesn't govern it, so, you know, we can't really do anything. Like every day a new profile is being made. You know my name, you take a photograph of the net and you just make a profile, and suddenly people would believe it's me, and then you can post all sorts of things. So it's very, very dangerous as well, because God knows what tomorrow something will be posted that's very harmful to everybody, and I would be blamed for it. So, and even if I prove my innocence, still that stigma of, you know, something of such sort happened will always be attached to me. So it's pretty scary. Yes, I totally believe that pictures, for instance, should not be so easily downloadable that, you know, anybody off the net can take them. I think some security provision must be made in our IT law.
With that, we are slipping into a very short break, but a very special report on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching CJ Plus, and now to a special citizen journalist report, and this one is coming from Maharashtra. Savita Shinde is our citizen journalist. She's someone who's breaking stereotypes and is setting an example of enterprise and hard work.
Hi, I'm Savita Shinde. Today I turn to citizen journalist to tell you how the breaking stereotype was not so easy.
I grew up in Dhule, in a household where there was no question of women working outside the home.
When I was school-going girl, that time I was instructed to come home immediately after school, even not go outside after sunset. And मम्मी तो बात करती थी क्या लड़कों से क्या बात करना है, और ऐसे अच्छे विलायती कपड़े पहनना अच्छा दिखता है क्या. कभी कभी सोचते थे कि ये ऑल सोशल स्टीरियोटाइप ब्रेक कर पाएंगे क्या बस हमें भी वही लाइफ काटनी पड़ेगी जो घर में हमारी दादी माँ मम्मी काट रही है. वो जस्ट कॉज ऑफ फैमिली रिस्ट्रिक्शंस, फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम, मैंने बीच में ही पढ़ाई छोड़ दी. घर के बोलते थे क्या करोगी पढ़ के, क्या इतना बड़ा ऑफिसर बनना है, लड़की तो है.
But I wasn't ready to give up so easily.
जब मुझे पता चला गोदरेज में ओपनिंग है, तब जब मैंने घर पे बताया तो सब घर के लोगों ने सब अपोज ही किया. लड़कियां क्या शॉप फ्लोर पे काम करती है, और तू कर पाएगी वहां पे. फाइनली दे कन्विंस. आई जॉइन गोदरेज 7 जुलाई 2014 एज अ टेक्निकल एसोसिएट. आई वॉज रिस्पेक्टेड, बहुत सम्मान मिला मुझे यहाँ पे. आई वर्क एज अ क्वालिटी ऑडिटर. ऑल एम्प्लॉयज़ का काम स्टैंडर्ड प्रोसीजर से करते हैं कि नहीं, और कभी कभी मुझे बोलना पड़ता है कि आप ऐसे करो वैसे नहीं करो. ये इन सारी बातों ने मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस इतना बढ़ाया है कि आज मैं अपनी पूरी फैमिली को संभाल रही हूँ. जब मुझे मेरी पहली पेमेंट मिली थी तब फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी घर पे. मेरी मम्मी की तबीयत बहुत ही सीरियस थी. मेरे पापा कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे थे, लेकिन मेरी पहली पेमेंट मेरे हाथ में थी और मैंने पापा को दिया. और उस टाइम जो पापा के आंखों में जो प्यार था, वो जो प्राइड था, आज भी मैं भूल नहीं पाती. आज भी मैं प्राइड से फील करती हूँ कि मैं मेरी मम्मी को बचा पाई.
If Make in India has to be successful, we will need women on shop floor. If our manufacturing GDP has to grow from 15 to 25%, we will need women on shop floor. The reason I say this is that the way manufacturing is going to expand, we will have a great shortage or deficit of workforce, especially skilled workforce. How are we going to fill this gap? It's only through women employment. 20% of our workforce strength is women, and they're performing extremely well. They have taken up challenging jobs like welding, brazing, machine operations, press operations. They are also very good in intricate and small assembly operations. Besides this, they are disciplined, dedicated, and determined to prove themselves.
यहाँ पे काम करना मैं एंजॉय करती हूँ. यहाँ पे डिफ्रेंशिएशन नहीं है कि ये लड़कियाँ लोग हैं, और काम देते समय सोचा नहीं जाता कि ये लड़की है क्या करेगी. ये सेम जो मेल एम्प्लॉय करते हैं वही हम लोग करते हैं.
We need to step out of our houses. We need to become independent in terms of earning for ourselves, earning for the next generation, both in government sector and in the private. We break stereotype and we encourage women, provide them employment where generally, traditionally, the areas have been with men. It is important to provide equal opportunity to men and women.
ये तो थी मेरी कहानी. गोदरेज ने चांस दिया तो मैं खुद को प्रूव तो कर पाई. अगर बाकी की भी कंपनियां इनिशिएटिव्स ले तो बाकी की भी लड़कियां खुद को प्रूव कर पाएंगी. दिस इज सविता शिंदे, citizen journalist, CNN News 18.
With that, we're wrapping up this edition of CJ Plus. But remember, our Be Cyber Safe campaign is an ongoing campaign. So we're going to look forward to your feedback, your suggestions, the questions that you want answered. You can reach the team on Twitter, Facebook, our website, and also through WhatsApp. Remember, the perpetrators of online harassment or trolling, the victims of it, and also the ones fighting it are all amongst us. So which side of the line do you stand? Something to think about till we meet again next week. Goodbye and take care.